Motor, J Motor, J Motor, J Motor, recognize Heckler House, Heckler House. Oh, 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 oh.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this week, of course, there was nothing major going on this past week. You know, the January 6th committee, theater, monarchy, bullshit, whatever. You know, they're desperate to keep Trump from running because they know he's going to win. So they definitely don't want him running. So they're trying all they can. They even tried to subpoena him. But you know how that's going to go. Whatever. Nice try. Fucking dumbasses. Anyways. And the only other thing I saw was, you know, they had a video of Biden going and eating ice cream again, while, you know, his, you know, insane rich elite leftist handlers have him saying that everything's fine, hunky-dory, you know, even though he's destroying everything that makes America great. But whatever. Economy's great, even though it's failing. Just believe him, you know. Just take their word for it. Fucking idiots. Nobody believes that shit anyways, but whatever. So we'll just get on to move on to what we're really going to talk about this week. So She-Hulk is done. Marvel's, Disney, the evil empire has just gotten done doing, you know, that shmoosh-shulk, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't know what I call it. A pile of dog shit is what I call it. It's literally the worst thing Marvel has done by far up to date. And it just gets worse and worse with them. Disney, Marvel, they just suck. This last episode, the very last episode was just, oh my god. It was so bad, so cringy. You know, I get that in the comics, She-Hulk broke the fourth wall every once in a while. Every once in a while, not all the fucking time. But this last episode, them breaking the fourth, it was terrible. It wasn't funny at all. And the whole, you know, Kevin thing or whatever was a robot. And get the fuck out. It was just so dumb. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I hate the fact that they drug Daredevil into this, or the character. It was terrible. Terrible, terrible. The jokes were cringe. The whole show is literally a girl, you know, telling a story about, you know, guys she likes and guys that won't date her. The thing is that feminists, the writers are all feminists. They shit on and hate on men, but yet that's what they want. They want the alpha male, not the beta, simp, or whatever. They want the alpha male. But yet, then they turn around and shit on him. It's just the dumbest shit. But yeah, it's like a little teeny bopper 12-year-old or whatever, telling her little high school story or whatever of guys and girls. It's just so dumb. Why won't guys date me that are like really handsome and tall and rich and famous, blah blah blah, Well, because you ain't shit. That's why. Most guys want a beautiful woman. Plain and simple. Now, most guys eventually figure out they ain't gonna get the beautiful woman. Why? Because all women want is fucking a guy who has bank. They want men with money nowadays. That's the way they're taught as they're growing up. Get a guy with money. Take his shit. So guys don't want to date you. They sure the fuck don't want to marry your ass. Anyways, guys have been dealing with this for centuries. Girls who don't want to date them because they don't fit the so-called social criteria of fucking females. They don't check off all the boxes. And for your information, ladies, if you look up the statistics, scientific studies have been done. Only 5 to 6% of the men in the entire world are over 6 foot fucking tall. Only 2% of that is in the United States. So the likelihood that you're going to be with a guy who's over 6 foot tall is extremely slim. Fucking height has nothing to do with whether the guy is good to you or not. Stop worrying about what's in his bank account. Jeez. All a guy wants is someone who's loyal, who will stand by his side and, be loving and affectionate. They don't need 50 things checked off. It's just dumb. Stupid. That She-Hulk is literally like that. It's just terrible. God awful. It's literally woke trash. Feminist woke trash. 2 thumbs down. Don't even waste your fucking time. Horrible. Alright. Next one I'm talking about is Disney Star Wars Andor series. This show is just slow as fuck. It is boring as hell. And it's about a character that nobody gives 2 shit cents about. Nobody cares for that character, Andor. Disney wants to get rid of all the old characters, make new ones, and try to force you to love them. And nobody wants any of these new characters because they suck. Their backstories suck. Their stories suck. Because you have woke, retarded writers writing the story. If you're going to do a story about a rebellion spy, do come up with something better, because this show sucks. It's just like, oh my god, they're still training. What the fuck is going on? It was just I don't know. I hated almost every single character in that show. I didn't like one character. They all sucked. Every single one of them. The only one I like the guy. I don't know his name, but I like the guy who was playing, the one who was always on his ass. Who had the dead brother from the farm, which turned out not to be a dead brother from the farm. Spoiler alert. It's just, they off that character, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, that was literally the best character you had in the entire show. And you go and kill him off. So dumb. And the guy who's playing, the actor's playing Andor, I mean, he doesn't look anything like a fucking spy or anything. It just, he's retarded. I can't stand him. He sucks. But anyways, horrible show. 2 thumbs down. Don't even bother. Terrible show. The last thing I'm going to talk about is I just got done watching season 2 of Resident Alien, starring Alan Turok. Now, Alan does his character amazingly well. He's really good at it. He's really funny. He's one of the main character. They call him Henry. He finds out that, you know, he gets a hold of the alien baby. Come to find out the alien baby is like a reincarnation of him from the future, trying to give him a warning about another alien race, which is the gray aliens, which the main gray alien is the voice is George Takaki, or however you pronounce his name, whatever. But anyways, you know, other than that, because I'm not a big fan of his ever since he went all crazy woke leftist shit. But he's the leader of the gray aliens. He does the voice, whatever. But anyways, you do have to put up with some feminism in this show. I mean, they splurge it on once in a while, and it's just so cringe when they do it. There's one character that they absolutely need to get rid of, and everyone, if you've seen the Twitter feeds, almost everyone agrees with this. Darcy is the worst character on the show. She has no business being on the show. Plain and simple, it's like, you know, she's supposed to be the best friend of, what's her name? I can't even think of her fucking name now, but, you know, the black-haired chick that's always with Henry. But she's supposed to be her best friend, but Darcy is just pathetic. You already have a town whore, which is the blonde, and she's ditzy as fuck. And I like her character. She's funny. Can't stand Darcy. She's dumber than shit. As she has no reason being in the show. And they're constantly trying to evolve the show. Half the show is about her. And I'm like, what are you doing? Asta, that's her name, the black-haired chick. I was like, why don't you put half the show about Asta and half about Henry if you're going to do that? But no, it's half the time it's around fucking retarded Darcy. Nobody likes this character. I wish they'd get rid of her because she's dumb. And then fucking the other crap, like I said, you're going to have to deal with some leftist feminism crap in it. The little girl, you know, they're constantly shoving leftist ideology, feminism at her. And it's just dumber than shit. Because, I'm sorry, but at that age, they're not going to act like that unless somebody's training them or teaching them that shit. It's just dumb. They shouldn't have that crap with that little girl either. Now, my favorite character besides Henry is the black sheriff. Oh my god, he's just fucking funny as hell. Some of the shit he says, you know, because it sounds stupid, but at the same time, it's actually pretty funny. But yeah, like I said, it's a funny show, great show. You just have to deal with a little bit of the nonsense feminism and the god-awful Darcy character. Otherwise, the show's great. You know, I give it, I highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Alan Thor he's great at playing Henry. All right, let's move on to your B movie reviews. Okay, movieaholics. This whole month, of course, is Horror Month. Now, continuing on with our Puppet Master series and trying to get through them. This time we're doing, 9 and 10. It's actually supposed to be 10 and 11, but they don't count Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys as part of the Full Moon series of movies. They don't count that movie. So basically it's 9 and 10. Now, this one, the first one's called Axis of Evil. It stars Levi Filler and Gina Gallagher, and it was in 2010. There is no box office numbers. You probably might recognize Levi from the show I was talking about earlier called Resident Alien. He's the mayor in that show. Now, they took stock footage from the very first film and then continued on from there. Basically, the Gestapo or the SS, Nazis, they come to take Old Man Toulon and his puppets and his secret formula that makes him animate. However, Toulon don't want them to get a hold of it, so he hides the puppets and then commits suicide. Now, Levi's character, he sees the Nazis leaving as they ransack Toulon's room, and he gets a really good look at one of them. He was staying at the motel or hotel or whatever. He figures out, that he knew that Toulon had these special puppets that he didn't use strings to animate. Now, he knew, apparently he knows where he hides them. So he takes out the trunk that has the puppets in it, and then he becomes the new puppet master. He takes them home with him. Now, in the entire series, you never find out how the hell these puppets always end up back at the hotel or this motel, because they always do. And it doesn't make any sense. They kind of fucked up the timeline, because this is 1939, 1940. Now, in the 80s, there's an evil psychic from the first film who gets a hold or finds the puppets in the motel and uses them to kill people. So if this guy's taking them home with him, from the motel, it never explains how they got back for the 80s. Just doesn't explain. Never does. So they kind of screwed that shit up. Anyways, Levi plays a character who cannot serve in the army because he has a bum leg. And that's all he wants, is to serve his country and go fight in the World War II overseas. Now he has an older brother who is fixing to get deployed over there, and he has a mother. That's his family that he lives with. Apparently his father's dead or something. I don't know exactly. I'm guessing he was dead. Anyway, he also has a girlfriend that works at this factory that makes weapons for the U.S. Now, once he gets home, which is like in Chinatown, San Francisco or something, it's based in Chinatown, he finds out there's this guy hitting on his girl at the factory. She works for the factory. Come to find out, it's the Nazi. He recognizes one of the Nazis, the SS, Gestapo, whatever you want to call him. He recognizes him. He follows him, finds out that he's working with the Japanese. They have a plot to blow up the factory. Now, there's only 2 Nazis, and there's 3 Japanese who are pretending to be Chinese, supposedly. They're calling her the Dragon Lady, the leader of the Japanese. 2 guys and a woman. The 2 guys, the guards, they never say a word. But there's only 3, these 5, the 2 Nazis and the 3 Japanese, which makes no sense because there'd be more, but whatever. Anyways, Levi's character and his girlfriend, his girlfriend don't believe him about the puppets and everything. He eventually has to show her and all that shit, and convince her. But he uses the puppets, and he goes and follows the Nazi guy who's pretending to be an American and work at the factory while he's hitting on his girlfriends to steal the plans or blueprints to the factory layout. He follows him and overhears a conversation, the plot to blow up the factory with the Japanese. Now the Nazis find this out. They go kill his family, his brother and his mother, and kidnap his girl. He finds out how to animate the dolls. Eventually, he stumbles across the liquid and the syringe to inject the puppets with the formula. But I can half-ass go along with that part. He still don't know the secret of the formula. He just knows how to use the liquid. Now, here's the other problem. Here's one of the problems I have. He just automatically says, oh, okay, I think I'll take some blood from my brother and mix it with the formula, and he'll just be part of one of the puppets. Now, he finds 2 hidden cases in the trunk. One is parts for 6-shooter, which have not been put together. And he just says he'll do it later. And the other one, he finds this ninja puppet, which they're all the time trying to introduce a new puppet, almost in every single one of these movies. Anyways, he finds this ninja puppet and decides to inject it with his brother's blood and the formula. So his spirit's in the puppet. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I don't buy that part, but whatever. Anyways, he uses the puppets to stop the bombing and kill the Nazis and the Japanese. Now, the ninja puppet, they only use him in this movie. He kills the main Nazi leader, and then, he's dead. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Those puppets don't die, and you can repair them. It's kind of dumb. The other part that was kind of dumb to me was you know, the Japanese, they're dressed as Japanese, but they're supposed to be pretending to be Chinese. Whatever. Anyways, the Japanese lady, you know, she grabs a bag that has Tunneler in it and takes off with him. She's the only one that the puppets didn't get. And that's where it leaves off for the next one. Now this one, it was alright. The acting was okay. The story was kind of lame. But other than that, it was okay. It was worth a one-time watch. I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Now, the next one is actually the 11th one, but again, because they didn't count Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys, it's considered the 10th movie. It's called Axis Rising. It was done in 2012. This starred Kip Canyon and Gene O'Sullivan. Now, I absolutely hate when they swap out actors and put in different actors. It's annoying. I mean, if you do it to one person, you know, sometimes I can understand why they do it. But when you're pretty much swapping out both the main characters, that's kind of bullshit. Plus, these two actors suck. I couldn't stand them. They couldn't act worth a shit. Very generic. In fact, most of the actors sucked. I didn't care for any of them. It was really bad. Now, in this one, it's there's supposed to be a Axis trilogy. This is a sequel. Like I said, it's called Axis Rising. There's no box office number because it went straight to video. But anyways, the story is he goes to find Tunneler, him and his girlfriend. Somehow, the army catches wind of what's going on and assigns a sergeant to him, which is, was just fucking retarded, this sergeant. It was just dumb. He was ignorant. I couldn't stand that guy. Anyways, it was really off the wall, goofy comedy horror. It wasn't scary. And they tried to make it funny, and it just wasn't. It was terrible. All the jokes and shit. Anyways, they go try to find the Nazis because they killed off the dragon lady, the Japanese woman who's supposed to be Chinese, acting like Chinese, but she's dressed as Japanese. The Nazis kill her and take the puppet. Now, the puppet Tunneler. Now, you'll notice that when they start off the movie, and they do that right off the bat, she's supposed to be wearing the white makeup on the face, but in this one she's not. And it's a totally different actress. But anyways, they kill her off, take the puppet. Apparently, they've been torturing this German scientist, the main Nazi SS guy. He's been torturing him, trying to get him to create a human version of an undead soldier. But he's also kind of a puppeteer too, this German scientist. But they've been forcing him to do this, or he won't be able to go home to his family. Now, he makes his own versions of puppets. He takes the formula from Tunneler and puts it into his own puppets and animates his own puppets, which again is dumb. They always try to create new puppets, at least one in every one of these movies. And it just didn't work. I didn't like the Nazi version puppets at all. That Bombshell and fucking Blitzkrieg and whatever that Wolfman thing was. And then the Kamikaze. They didn't have Kamikazes until 1944, and this is like 1939, 1940. I mean, it's just fucking retarded. The new puppets were dumb. It was dumb. Anyways, with the Sarge's help, who eventually gets killed, the boyfriend, his girlfriend, which they would have told her to stay the fuck home no matter what, she would not have gone along. I guarantee you it would have not happened. But no, in this one, oh, she's going to tell them what the fuck she's going to do. And she goes. And it's just dumb. There's no reason for her to go. If they're going to fight and be, she might get killed or something. It was dumb. She wouldn't have gone. Especially in that time and era. Anyways, they stop the puppets, stop the Germans. And then he lets the German scientist go home, even though he tried to help kill him. The boyfriend does. And the German scientist has his own version of the formula now. It's not as good as Toulon's, but it's like a weak version of it. The puppets don't last very long. But he takes off. You never see what happens to the Nazi puppets. And you assume that the boyfriend's got all of his puppets back, the original puppets, but you don't know. And that's where they leave this one off. Because there's a third installment, which I'll get to next time. This one, god-awful, 2 thumbs down. It was terrible. I mean, it was beyond cheesy. It was bad. The acting was god-awful. Like I said, 2 thumbs down. I do not recommend this one unless you're just a die-hard horror fan of this series, I mean, it was really bad. It was hard to watch. That's all I have for you this week. Tune in next week and have some more Puppet Master movies to review. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier, the She-Hulk, the Andor, or, the Resident Alien or whatever, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions of movies or recommendations, something I may never have seen or heard of or underrated, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you to be told the truth, and you've just been told.